Hi, I'm Alchemist2, and I'm back again with another series review. I just recently watched the most current episode of Doctor Who, and it was called Extremis. And this one I really enjoyed because I wasn't really used to Pearl, and I fell in love with Pearl and her portrayal of Bill, and of course, the Doctor's consort. He has permission to kick his butt if he gets out of line. I just love it when he said that. It cracked me up. And then he said it to Bill too when she started walking ahead of him, and he had to actually walk out in front of her just to protect her. And they're in the Vatican, and the Doctor is supposed to read this Veritas, which of course in Latin means truth, and it has a lot of really unbelievable information in it. And then they discover that they are in a hologram, that everything that has been projected to them is not real. And the first to go is the Doctor's, I guess you could call him counsel, because he keeps him in line. And then Bill comes later on, and she's also virtual. But it's so funny that they have one area of the projection that's the Vatican, and then one that is the Pentagon, and then one that's CERN, and they do the shadow test, which is a variant of different numbers, but they're all the same. And of course, she comes to realize that the alien intellect that put them all together in that VR did so to root out real from fake. And the Doctor is very savvy, and he's extremely creative and sly, and he's able to send himself a message to the sonic sunglasses because he's blind. But what I really liked about this episode is it's more literal as to the Doctor being unaware of his surroundings and who he truly is, and that he does need guidance from his counsel or from Bill herself. And they make it more allegorical and metaphorical and direct than they did before, because the Doctor still is learning who he is as this recent incarnation, and it's just fantastic, I think. And I know a lot of people have issues with Mr. Moffat's writing, but I really, really, really like this episode. And it was funny. I love the rapport that the council and Bill have together. I'm sorry, I just can't remember his name. He kind of reminds me of the Santaran, oddly enough. I thought, he's like the potato. I miss the potato. I love the Santarans. I just think they're awesome. Santar, ha. They're kind of like the Klingons in a way. I guess they're less bellicose than the Klingons are, but they just kind of remind me of the Klingons. This was a very thought-provoking episode. Of course, we get to see Missy again. I thought, yeah, Missy! And then Missy is revealed as having a heart rather than a character that we're supposed to loathe. And then the Doctor has another side revealed, and she mentions his friendship and that she has hope and that they were companions. I thought, oh, that's interesting. Of course, River Song's journal is also incorporated within the scope of the episode. So there are a lot of things going on in this one. It's very multi-layered. I really don't have that much else to say other than it was a very excellent episode, and I sincerely enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the next episodes to come. And it was so good to see a black companion, because I miss Martha, and I know Martha's underrated. I think that she should have gotten more screen time. But as far as my favorite companions, of course I like Ricky was awesome too, another underrated companion. Captain Jack. Of course, I'm going to be watching Torchwood and doing reviews of that. I've never watched Torchwood, so I'm like, Captain Jack, John Barrow. I'm like, John Barrowman. I love him. I think that he's unbelievably talented, and a lot of people don't know this, but Mr. Barrowman was in theater. And he proved that quite well in The Producers, and that's actually one of my favorite movies of all time. And he plays a insanely beautifully voiced Aryan in that particular hysterical film. And I told Dad who this, like, oh really? Like, yep, that's John Barrowman. And I remember, this is going off on a track with Mr. Barrowman, but there was an episode of what was it? Not Who Wants to. Well, it was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, with I can't remember what's her name. It was a Doctor Who thing, and she says, "Well, why don't you make it a little bit?" She was talking about the theme song. Well, why don't you make it a little bit more Broadway? And he starts singing the theme song, and I just lost it. They had it on YouTube. You can watch it there. The clip is great, and then they have K9, and K9 loses. I thought, oh no, K9 was voted off. I thought it was sad, and David Tennant was there, and there. I remember that was basically it was kind of breaking the fourth wall, because they had an episode with Christopher Eccleston where they were on game shows, and one of them was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. But I'm thinking that was the name of the show. Oh, it wasn't Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Weakest Link. That's what it was. And I remember, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. Because my mom used to love her, and she just adored her. I liked her too, and I always liked that. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. So I was remembering that. Sorry, I had the wrong name of the show, but Weakest Link. Yeah, good times. But that's going to be on. I'm going to be doing reviews of that. It'll be my first time seeing Torchwood all the way through. So I'm interested in seeing Mr. Barrowman, whom I have a huge crush on. Mr. Barrowman is very, very, very handsome. Okay, I've stated that and gotten that out of the way. Needless to say, I love Mr. Barrowman. He is extremely talented. Anyways, the episode was really good, and I liked the alien presence was very macabre and sinister and unsettling and scary, and especially when that hand came out of nowhere and Bill goes, "Oh God!" I'm like, ah! I didn't scream, and it scared. Doctor Who is one of the few shows to this day, especially with the Daleks. If they come out of nowhere, the Daleks freak me out, even though I love the Daleks. It just, I feel like screaming and running away. Like, no, get them away from me. I actually did a script of them hanging out in a bar with Cybermen, and it was hysterical, but it was funny, funny stuff. I wish I would see that at a convention and someone take my work and just, if I could see that on stage, and if someone asked me, I would say, sure, go ahead, do it. I want to see what it looks like in real life, and credit me, please, because I'm the one who wrote it, but I forget where I put it. That's the only thing. It's out there somewhere in the interwebs, but Extremis was a very tremendous episode. It just brought to mind the whole idea of what's real and what's not, and how can you tell when something's really real. It's that whole idea of, are we in the Matrix sort of mentality, and I thought, please, dear God, not this again. There is no spoon. The cake is a lie. I don't want to go through that. That just messes with my mind. And of course, I remember this this review that someone did about Perfect Blue, and it's a similar kind of trope, where we are avatars. What really is what is authentic in this world? Can you even tell anymore? That's a very challenging question, and I don't think any of us can truly answer it, but just how the Doctor defeats this alien presence at the end is absolutely brilliant. and I'm eager to see what will happen in further episodes. And I will definitely do reviews of Torchwood when it comes out. I'm not doing any reviews of Badlands, or yeah, because I thought that would just take up too much time. I'm still doing American Gods, of course, because I love American Gods. I'm going to be doing Orphan Black because it's going to be the final season of Orphan Black. I hope that they're going to have Dirk Gently back, because Dirk Gently is one of the best TV shows in existence other than American Gods. I've been keeping up with my anime. I'm watching Attack on Titan Season 2. Hunter x Hunter, of course, they put JoJo on hiatus. I watched the end of Samurai Jack, which I enjoyed, but it felt kind of rushed near the end, I have to say. But it was a fitting ending, and it made me cry. I've sincerely savored all of that. What else? I've been watching Gundam Unicorn, which is a reboot of the original Gundam Unicorn, I do believe, because I remember the original, and this one's much better. The animation is much nicer, much more clean. They took the same story and gave it a facelift, I do think. But anyway, I've been watching what's the other one? Supermansion. Shoot, I can't remember names of the other anime. Oh, Naruto, of course, because it's still running. They had Pain versus Kakashi. That was a good episode. One Piece they put on hiatus for a while. I want to see what happens in One Piece, because I've been watching that since I was a child. What else? Been watching Scorpion. I've been watching, oh shoot, some other television shows as well. They have Twin Peaks. I'm gonna start watching that. But that's pretty much all I gotta say. So until next time, live long and prosper. Ciao, Tutti.